How's it going, guys? I hope you're well. I'm StattoJoe. You're a legend for watching this video. And today I'm just going to give you a wee explanation on XG, show some examples. I've got a new annotator thing so I can show what I mean when I'm talking about goals. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are marching very swiftly down the road to 50 subs, and I would love you to join me. Plenty of content, 5 to 7 videos a week. Okay, so question of the day for today. Do you think XG is a really relevant stat in terms of showing how a game is played out rather than, maybe is it the better indicator as is it as close to the result as possible? Let me know what you think in the comments. Would be really interested to hear your opinion. Okay, so what is XG? It's expected goals. Now I am a maths student, um, and so the aim of this channel is to really look at stats in games and sort of see how they reflect on a result. So often you might find that the stats support results, but other times where I've seen that stats actually would indicate that the team that lost maybe deserved to win. So XG is just the probability of a goal being scored in a certain scenario. So whenever the goal is scored, in that scenario, what was the probability that goal was to be scored? So here's how it's calculated. They look at four things. Okay, first one is to say here, the location of the shooter. So the further away they are from the goal, then the lower the XG value. Body part, was it a header or did they shoot or was it off their knee, etc. A header has a lower XG value than a shot from the same place. The pass, the assist for the goal. So if the ball was in the air or was a difficult one to take, that'll make it a lower XG value. And then the type of attack will also establish the XG value. So I want to talk about two things whenever I look at XG. The first thing's a penalty, and the second thing is Pogba's goal against Fulham a couple of weeks ago. So when we talk about penalties, generally penalties have an XG value of between 0.7 and 0.75, depending on where you get your stats from. Different places will give different values for XG of a game. I personally really enjoy the XG philosophy on Twitter. They give XG for every game in the Premier League, and it's just really good for me to keep an eye on how XG is compared to the number of goals in a game week. Okay, so I'm going to look at Gundogan's penalty against Liverpool on Sunday, mainly because the camera angle is so perfect for me to be able to explain a couple of things. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So this camera angle is quality because it lets me show you some things about penalties that a lot of people don't realize. Okay, so in a penalty, typically there is an area of the goal that is pretty much impossible for the keeper to save, and this does depend on the power of the shot because we're using the speed equals distance over time formula. Basically, can the keeper cover the distance and the amount of time it takes from the ball being hit until the ball hits the net? So if I show you here, there's an area of the net that is pretty much impossible to be saved in. So it's right in the corners, right beside the post. So here, and then on the other post here. But there's also another part of the goal that's pretty much impossible to save in, and that's actually slightly along from the corner, but at the top on the bottom. Now, this maybe is confusing initially, but if I just explain, so whenever the ball is hit in here, so in between the line and the two lines that run across at the top, in this red zone, the keeper actually is likely to save because it is less of a distance from where they're standing to where the ball is. So it's more than a nicer height for them. Higher and lower, there's more distance for the keeper to travel. This also does depend on where the keeper's standing. Allison here is actually perfectly in the centre of the goal, so this applies. Um, but should Gundogan hit his shot from here to here or here to here, the keeper's likely not to save. So whenever you're hitting with power, you are trying to get in the corners. Now, the harder you hit, maybe here, if you smack that there or if you smack it there, then the keeper might not save it if it's too quick. But generally, that's why it's better to go right in the corner. Although I often say that because keepers move, if you hit down the middle, the keeper's often not going to save it. But obviously, if you've seen this penalty, you'll know that Gundogan just skies it in an effort probably to hit the top corner. So you can see he's probably aiming for the top corner. Alisson's not going to get there, and he hits it over the bar. So he misses the penalty, which is one of those rare occasions where you don't score from a scenario where the XG is higher than 50%. Now, the other one I want to look at is Pogba's goal against Fulham. Now, if you haven't seen it, this is a stunning goal. This is unbelievable. So I'm just going to play up until just before he hits the shot. Okay, and he's going to hit the shot about now. Okay, so here is the thing about this shot. We have in between Pogba and the goal, there's 1, 2, 3 Fulham defenders. Okay, we can't even see the net in this shot. You can't even see it. He's hitting it with his left foot from distance with so many players in the way. You would expect the keeper to get there on time. And if I just run the rest of the clip so you can see the goal, like that is on like right in the far corner. I mean, the keeper had no chance. So that goal had a probability of 2%. So the XG of 0.02. And people will say that is maybe why XG is a bit flawed, because the XG for this game certainly was not. United didn't have 2, because when a goal is only worth 2%, you're only getting 0.02 added. XG is added on for every chance that you get. So your XG will be added if you miss. So, for example, there was a game, I think Chelsea played Burnley not too long ago, and Burnley's XG was 0.4. Burnley's XG was 0 until their only chance in the 94th minute, and that was a 40% chance of scoring, and they missed. So that's just XG. That's me just showing you how it works. Does this make sense? If it doesn't, I can do a follow-up video and talk about it a bit more, but I just wanted to show it in a real application, because I think it makes more sense whenever you can see things, how XG kind of works. But let me know in the comments, do you think it's a relevant stat to be used today? And of course, if you're new, please do subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow for an FA Cup roundup video. Thank you.